Right behind him is Daniel Dye, and Daniel was about, oh, Clay just gets loose.
Yeah, he kind of got squeezed a little bit in the middle, got loose, and all these other trucks just a victim of circumstances. Looked like Clay moved up the racetrack just a little bit and maybe made some slight contact with a truck on the outside, and then looks like he may have lost control, and these other trucks with nowhere to go. There's Haley Deegan, the
middle of that somewhere.
Man,
that's a mess. Look at him bouncing off each other.
Haley Deegan.
John Hunter Nemechek.
John Hunter Nemechek. He goes into the wall.
I think Ross Chastain got a piece of that as well.
And the caution is out.
Hunter and Eckes, they just
squeezed Haley a little bit between John Hunter and Christian Eckes, and neither one of them had really forced the issue. Christian was right up against the wall. John Hunter, you know, felt.
Side by side they come. Christian Eckes, the two, and Nick Sanchez. Can he hang on?
Here comes Eckes. Watch this run. There it is to the top.
Ben Rhodes to the outside, making it 3 wide, coming out of turn 4. Trucks in the wall. Side by side, Nick Sanchez sideways. Multiple things happen at one time, and this is what happened here.
Wow, they were running in the top 10.
Yeah, and you saw Haley's truck start to bounce right there, and what happens when you get too low right.
Get a little bit momentum on him. Which one's Matt Crafton, who cautioned on the racetrack?
Caution is out for the 8th time on the front stretch. Oh, Dean Thompson. Oh, and a big hit after he had already come to a stop on the racetrack. 4 different trucks collected there.
Was that
Trey Hutchins in the 14? Armani Williams right there in front of you on the 46. Oh, that was a big
Matt Mills
hit.
in the 20 as well.
That's Taylor Gray, excuse me.
Tanner's brother.
I don't know if something went wrong with Taylor, but that was weird looking.
I think he did bust the radiator. As soon as he hit Taylor Gray, it looked like it squirted out some water.
That was overcorrected after the truck got away from him.
And that's what happened to Daniel Dye, I'm guessing.
And you saw the 51, William Byron, he had not passed a truck. He was running last. We'll see how that develops. Right along with Danny Dye on his race to shop suicide onboard camera.
Might have made.
Oh, Zane got in the corner a little bit better. Did Purdy have a problem on entry there? He let off pretty early.
I'm not sure. I think too early. Zane didn't think he was going to let off that early. And then you see Christian came in with nowhere to go. And he runs into Zane.
Look at Caden Cunningham. Wow, Caden barely got to the bottom.
Yeah, Chase may have backed off a touch early, but it didn't look like it was very noticeable. But Christian came by with nowhere to go when Zane. 3 wide.
3 wide on the exit of turn 2.
Hocevar wrecked himself.
Hang on to it.
Hocevar with contact. The caution is out once again.
3 wide.
There goes
Probably
that tire. That's kind of a dive at him too, I think.
Yeah, but the tire was definitely flat. See Dean Thompson go down pit road to miss him.
Got to push, and then he saw behind him Eckes going to the bottom. He decided he would go to the bottom, and they made contact.
I was watching Tyler Ankrum in the 16, and I thought he was going to get really aggressive on the outside. That wreck develops, and he's able to drive down to the middle lane and get through unscathed.
Make it through the wreck. There was a lot of bad luck for a lot of other guys.
Man. The first wreck that almost happened.
Yeah.
I don't see how he kept it off of there.
Oh, right. There it was. You see Zane got in the back of Matt Crafton. Then Chase Purdy, Colby Howard just tried to avoid Zane.
Nothing that those two could do at that point. We talk about how narrow this track is, and that wreck happened right in their lap.
Yeah, Zane was trying to get underneath Matt. They came off the corner. Zane was trying to get underneath Matt and couldn't quite.
Everything looked normal, and then down into 3, I guess that's an oil line that must have broken or came loose and just ignited.
It looked like it just dumped all the oil out on the headers, assuming that's what it was.
And then that's why he couldn't turn. The oil got on the tires and away he went.
Of the 2 trucks below him, and it just shot him out.
Yeah, and then he just slows down, and Raja with nowhere to go, as well as all these chain reaction trucks here. Absolutely nowhere to go for any of them.
What about Bubba and Nick Garcia? They did a nice job of staying to the bottom and missing this mess. See Timmy Hill slowing down there. Right there, just shoved. That took him to the Brickyard 400, and boy, this was a close call.
Oh, not only does he barely miss those outside barrels, just past the opening into the garage there.
Yeah, a lot of things went right that.
Yes,
that instance
even though it ended wrong, but
yes,
you're right, Phil.
Could have been so much worse. Watch the opening that you're talking about right there, Michael.
I hit the opening
just
once.
past that. About 6 feet?
Those things.
And watch Nick there with a 2 truck. Right there was just a little bit of touch on the right rear corner, it looked like.
Yeah, that totally avoidable. I don't know if she didn't drive in as far as he thought she might, but you can't just run over someone.
Wow,
watch
Nick
this hit here.
Sanchez.
That's just
all 4 tires up off the ground.
Remember, we saw that in qualifying. A couple of trucks did that. Wood was on his way to be clear, and then the 45 truck of Allen just right up the road in front of him. You can see right there, she hits the apron.
And her truck was loose even before she got up into the 45 of Lawless Allen. As you mentioned, Jack did a great job avoiding Haley, and then Lawless came up the racetrack right in his path.
You know who did a really good job here? Jake Drew in the 66, making his first ever start.
Everybody gets together.
Yeah, 3 wide. Yeah, that was Haley Deegan made it 3 wide. She made contact with the truck in the middle, and then that truck made contact with Raja and turned him around. See the black truck poking out on the right side of your screen. I believe it was maybe Taylor Gray that she might have made contact with and forced him in.
I think some big contact for Dean Thompson. Truck, and then he just pulls up. Didn't know he was 3 wide, maybe, possibly, but mistake. Oh, see late there, Ross got into the crypt.
There's another view. Kligerman, Kaz hard into the outside wall. Zane gets into Kaz. Stefan gets into Zane.
Late here. Don't know if he got any help, but he was sort of all by himself. Don't know if somebody got into him entering the corner. Maybe there was
well, that's Haley. There. That's Haley right behind him.
And they were racing each other.
I don't see a telltale mark on the back of that truck, so may have just been a situation. On the backstretch, when he gets down here to turn 3, obviously locks up the left front. It makes hard contact. Don't know really if he got on the splitter or something may have happened. We initially speculated that maybe the
Dean Thompson tried to
clear himself
to the outside.
Ooh.
Oh, and then Spencer Boyd comes along late.
Oh my goodness, what a hit!
Wow. Just got a little bit loose inside of Ben Rhodes.
See what Ty Majeski saw here from his onboard camera.
Ben gave him plenty of room. He had the entire blacker part of the racetrack. Ooh, Jesse Love
and then Raja got out of the gas aspect, and then Tanner didn't see what was happening, and they made contact.
I think that's exactly right. I think you called it exactly.
Circumstances.
It's another shot. Talked about Jesse Love and the one getting sideways.
Whoa, nice job by Daniel Dye. Did you see him just avoiding?
Out and fix that, but nonetheless a great run for Caden Honeycutt, but Tyler Young's guys are going to have a little bit of work to do before we race tonight.
Yeah, I believe that truck will be fine though. They can bend it out and go to work on it. Pretty big hit to that right rear, but they'll push that out, I believe.
You won't even hardly know it when they get done repairing that truck for the race.
Have to. Oh, Dean just couldn't get to the bottom.
Yeah, Jack had already gotten to the outside wall and was sliding back down the racetrack when Dean came along.
Man.
Dean had committed to the middle, to the top of the racetrack, tried his best to turn it hard to left.
Or does he stay down there on the bottom?
Oh, Matt Crafton gets into Brett Holmes.
Big
Trucks
one.
wrecking everywhere. Caution is out for the 8th time.
Grant Enfinger in this one as well.
And they're still hitting each other. But on the front stretch, this was back in the 23rd spot.
Yeah, they were 4 wide there in back of the bike. Looked like Colby Howard probably got into the outside wall.
Oh, somebody squeezed up. That was Haley squeezing up.
And then moved away and got into the right rear quarter panel of Colby Howard, put him in.